Yeah, definitely. Jim's warning me about rattlesnakes out at this location. We're going to be checking out this leaky tank we noticed yesterday. We thought might have been
a little snake shot with me.
There you go. A little back pocket. Jim's pulling out his pocket piece.
It's got shot shells in it. Hey, this is where you can light the gas.
Okay.
At night, and if the wind's not blowing too bad come on, Em. It's not blowing too bad, it'll stay lit. So your flame up there. But this is the casing.
Yep.
That's the stuff.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah. No, that is the problem. See where it's
Yeah.
torn apart and dripped right there?
It just hasn't fallen, but
No,
it's the
that's
same issue.
Easy peasy. We'll fix that right now.
Right.
Come on, Em. Get in here. By the time we get back.
Piper's the same way. Can't leave anything in the car.
Okay, Em. In the truck. Em. Truck.
Head down. Watching for snakes. Okay.
Em.
That means chasing me.
Em.
Oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Enemy's busted.
Truck.
Enemy's busted. You can just hear it.
Well, I don't know how many. I probably picked out a dozen big rattlers right around this. They like to bed down where it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's a prime place. You'll see lots of tarantulas too. But... Oh yeah, see that's where we're losing all our water, right there. Son of a gun.
Well,
Okay,
we'll just run over there real quick. Check it out.
now see this is mud. Let me see if we can throw a timber or two down in there to walk on so we don't have to get in the mud.
Alright.
You know? I've got a bunch of timbers up here.
Okay.
Let's throw some down there. There's some heavy duty thistle right here.
Yeah.
And star thistle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna get loaded with it, guy. So
Yeah.
just make sure, because you'll go back in and your wife and your child will be the recipients of these thistles and be calling you different things, and dad and husband and that's probably the easiest access from that side there, I think, huh?
Well, I can actually get to the pipe from here. Oh man, that is mucky.
No, dude, it's nasty. I'm not kidding you. It's nasty. Yeah, there you go. Here's another piece too.
Perfect.
There you go. Here, let me get over there where I can help you to... I was going to bring the backhoe out here and extend the boom with a...
Oh no, we're good.
Huh?
We're good.
Sometimes I can just pop this sucker up. Wait a minute. I've done this just by popping it back here. Okay, go ahead. You're going to have to move it over. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, never in business. There we go.
So it looks like it's this here.
Yeah, you know what we'll do is we'll just bring some more pipe out here and put a longer piece in there so there's a little more tension on it, even if it... That'll work for right now. That'll start filling the tank. That's what we want to accomplish. That's good.
We got any wires to grab this and scoop it right to there for now?
Yeah, let me grab some.
Keep the angle good.
Yeah, let me grab some. I usually keep some ties in the truck too, but I bet you I don't have one in there now. Those plastic zip ties. Yeah, you can see how much of a challenge this is for one person to continually.
Yeah.
You can't do it all. That's something that they're going to have to realize, because I'm not here to give you what limited help I'm going to be able to give you at this stage. You're going to need some kind of help.
Yeah.
At different times, not all the time. You know, you don't need a full time, but you are going to need
Yeah, we're gonna come and fix it later. It's nothing permanent.
Yeah, I want to do a good job on it. But I just want to get that. Once we get that tank full, we're great, because that means that tank down there is going to be full, the trawl's going to be full, and the overflow will be going into all the spring up here. We don't waste anything out here. No water waste at all. You got a knife on you?
I don't.
Okay.
Left it at home. Strap's fine.
How about a bungee cord?
That'll work.
Think that's enough?
Yeah, I just want to keep it from drooping anymore. I'll wrap it twice.
Yeah, I think this one you don't have to. These things, I
Just toss that down. You don't gotta climb down here. Just toss it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll catch it. I got good hands.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go on the top one there. There you go. Yeah, it's dang near long enough, huh? Dang near short enough. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let me give you a shorter one. Let me give you a shorter one. You think that'll catch?
I'll just put it through this hole.
There you go. Yeah, it just has to work for a few days until we can get off the fence deal and get back over here and address it. Yeah, dude, that's good. That's excellent. Good job. Okay, while we're here, I should try and explain to you the
They're action cameras, they can take it.
Okay, what we got here is, this is just a brief on this deal. We'll go over it in detail more, but just to give you a little understanding, because this is a separate system into itself. This tank and this well supplies that water trough over the hill.
On the siphon feed.
On the siphon feed.
Right.
And this double trough down here. And it also feeds this pond here.
Right.
This is an overflow pond up here, this upper pond, this little small one.
Yeah.
So that when we do have a problem up here, a leak or whatever we might hit, we don't lose the water, that it stays there.
Okay.
Okay. When this tank is full, and the trough and the tank down there in the concrete,
yeah,
that fills that.
The valve shuts off.
No, there's an overflow. See that pipe coming out?
That white one?
The little white one coming out?
That comes back around?
Yeah, when everything is full, because this is an artesian well and it just keeps pumping.
Right.
Whether you want it to or not, you know, you got to have some place for that water to go. So I've got it plumbed up to where it will overflow into this lake here, and it keeps the lake, sustains this little pond. Whatever. See, there's a well casing down there too.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Where that pipe's coming out?
That's that's similar to this, that bubbles out water too. It's got enough pressure from the methane underneath there to put in. That's why we have a little bit of water in there right now.
Okay.
But once this starts to begin that steady overflow of this well here, it'll actually keep this a pretty goodly amount of water in here.
So I'm seeing two trails. I see a water trail going out that way. Is that coming from the holding tank, or is that the well there? Or?
What's that?
It's just like a little fork of water going off into the main wet area, coming from the dry area out.
That's where that well casing is.
Right at the head of that.
See right there, that little casing coming up out of the ground, the little rusty.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I see it now.
There used to be a windmill there.
Okay.
Years and years and years and years ago.
And then what about this little kind of finger of water over here?
That's another spring. That's coming out of the spring that's in this aquifer along in here has all got holes, and it's all basically from the small system.
Okay, so this area is fed from
springs,
like 3 different ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you could make them individual springs, and at one time they probably were considered until they realized it was all part of one big network. Yeah, you can kind of visualize in your mind when they were doing all this on horseback and wagon and stuff like that, what their thought process must have been. You'll see all kinds of pipe and stuff like that, old iron pipe and stuff through the years, that the different methods that they tried in order to get water, you know, for sheep and for whatever animals they were running out here. They ran a lot of sheep at one time.
Yeah.
Years and years ago, when that was a real popular thing to do. And but anyway, that's the way this system up is. It's set up not to waste any water, and take as much advantage as possible of what we have, and keep it as sustainable as possible. I mean, it's an early attempt at sustainability, I guess.
Yeah, right.
You know.
So this is 5,000 tank, 5,000 gallon.
5,000.
What would you estimate this overflow at?
Oh gosh, the little
like
pond there?
If this whole thing burst, would it hold the whole tank? You think that's 5,000, 10,000?
Yeah, no, there's probably 20,000 gallon capacity right there.
And cow will come down and drink at this?
Oh yeah, they'll utilize that. That's why that was basically put there, so in case this happened in the middle of the cattle season or something like that, you're not losing the water. The cattle still have the ability, and they drink out of this. They love to come in there and mess with this. The only bad thing about it is if they get too far into it, though, it's like quicksand. I've had to pull, I don't know, half a dozen steers out of this muck. They'll wait out there too far trying to get to in the dry times, and they'll try and they get stuck.
I could see that.
Sit there in wallows.
I
think pretty soon you got a problem, and that's why you have to be vigilant, and you have to, you know, come out and make periodic checks. You know,
do the rounds. There
you go. Plus, it's good to get out.
Or fly the maps, one or the other.
Yeah.
Do the rounds and fly the maps.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to do it, particularly when weather won't let you get out and do that and stuff like that. But I don't know. I really enjoy being out in the hills.
Yeah. All right, so got that guy fixed up. Go back in, and then we'll get the insulators at the store, nails and such, and then we're gonna address the fence tomorrow. Then I guess, man.
Yeah, one time there was a big water tank up here.
Finding bullet shells out here.
22s, yeah.
Snake shot.
But this whole area right here is just kind of a watershed. I mean, there's something about this area right in here, the geography of and this was a natural site for them to try and dig for, to drill for gas and stuff too. So there's a lot of geology going on here that's interesting.
In this little slough here.
Yeah, just in this one little canyon here, yeah. And then, like I said, that you see, there's water going continuously into that, from the trough there into that one big. That's the lower lake, and this is the upper lake.
Okay.
The upper Vineyard Lake.
Upper Vineyard Lake.
Yeah, and that's the lower Vineyard Lake.
Because ultimately this all flows to the vineyard.
And if we have a real wet year this year, we'll have another little pond on the other side of the hill there where the dam is there. There's a built a spillway.
Yeah.
So that when it gets up to a certain height, it spills over into the... Boy, I can't wait for it to be green. Can't wait for it to be green. Okay.
Alright, check it out.
If you see where you don't have any water coming out of that overflow,
then
there's a problem. You need to backtrack and find out why you don't have overflow coming into that pond. A real easy way you can drive by, you see water dribbling out, the system's good. You know, it's that simple. You know.
That's We're gonna go check this trough that's siphon fed.
Yep.
And make sure that it's still functioning because the upper lake tank was dry due to the pipe separation. I see water.
There's water. Let's check it out.
Emmy's doing the patrol for snakes.
Since there hasn't been any feed here, since there hasn't been any usage of this, hopefully there's water in that line enough to, when it does start back up again, there'll be enough to pull it over. Yeah, there's water in the line. I'm just going to touch it a little bit. Yep, we're golden. We're golden. So it should start itself. It should.
As necessary. Once it gets low enough, it'll start the siphon and pull it over.
Yeah, once this pulls out enough, what we'll do is we'll open this up just to get things going.
And when the tank fills, you'll have more pressure too.
Well,
to
that's what I
push
mean.
it. Yeah.
We'll have enough pressure over there by then, and that lower line will fill up to that point, and then that air release will pop out the air that would impede it from making a turn. That's the theory.
All right, we'll check it. What do you think tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
All right.
I see overflow coming out into that big pond there, that upper reservoir. Then we'll know the system is full, and then we can play with it.
And just double check it.
Yeah.
Make sure the bleed's working. Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
We can play with it, and we can drain. We can run water through, flush the pipes out, and all that stuff. Trough cleaning too is another thing that.
I was going to ask about all the aquatic plants, if that helps or is hindering.
Yeah, some of the Trisconi weed is we want to leave that in the trough because it helps to clean the water and it's good stuff. And we had UC Davis come out here and check it out and send a sample back and everything, and they couldn't identify it, so they just called it Trisconi weed.
You got your own brand of aquatic plant?
Yeah, it's really strange. So, and I don't know where to get it or anything. So what we have here growing in the troughs, you take a little bit out and put it in another one, and it propagates. So it's kind of what we have is what we have. So I've been trying to make it stretch, and there's probably other plants that we could investigate that stick in there. The problem is that you got to find one that the cattle don't want to eat.
Good luck. They eat it all.
Or something that just rusts and gets eaten up by this water because this water's so rough on metal.
Yeah.
I just drilled a bunch of holes in some oversized PVC and slipped it over the end so that it would act as a strainer to try and keep any debris and stuff from hitting the deal. That way we didn't have so many plug ups. And it works real great until enough sediment and leaf mulch and everything rolls off the side of the hill and fills that up.
Yeah.
And you have to go in with the backhoe and clean it out. But you have to be very careful, otherwise you go in there and you rip out your piping and then you got to start all over again.
Gotcha.
So it's the location of that. Boy, that's the thing is it's if you don't know it's there, you're gonna grab it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know it's there. But by knowing that it's there, at least you can be careful, and the chances of hitting it are less.
So that's the box spring up above the round trough down there. And what are you calling this area?
That's the sulfur spring. They call that the sulfur spring for some. This is
Sulfur
Sleepy
spring.
Hollow through here.
Sleepy Hollow.
This is what I call Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
Back there where we came down the hill and went over to that little square trough,
Yeah.
that's called Wallet Gap.
Wallet Gap.
And the only reason it's called Wallet Gap is because Mike's brother Mario lost his wallet over there and never did find it.
Oh.
Back about 60 years ago.
So if we find it, we're to return it to its rightful owner.
Either that or it's been found or some pig ate it or something.
Cow ate it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd love to have a metal detector. Work some of these areas over that I know that are old homestead sites.
Yeah.
Because that's all this was old homestead sites before it became a land grant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was just looking at metal detectors this weekend.
Yeah, metal detector. I just don't want to fool around with Yeah, see, this is great. These roads are so nice now. It's the way they should be kept all the time. It's the way they always kept them, and you can with the Kubota, as long as you have personnel at the right time of the year to hit it when it's got moisture in it.
Yeah.
And when you're doing it by yourself, there's no way you can do it and do all your other responsibilities at the same time. It's impossible.
It's just a lot of work.
Yep. That just goes up to the upper, the 3 fingers up there, up to the they actually used to farm that up there. They used to grow grain up there on the top.
Uh-huh.
And I can't even fathom how hard that was to get harvesters and equipment up there. See, this is the crossroads right here, because you can either go to the back gate that way, or you can go down Sleepy Hollow and go to the vineyard side, or you can go back to the main, headquarters this way.
Alright.
The piping for this trough down here comes down this little canyon. There's a spring in the side wall of this canyon that seeps water out. Right now it's dry, but we'll see it this winter. If we have a really good winter and it gets filled up again, it'll probably start running all year round like it used to. But the drought, this ranch is probably 5 years out from being back to normal, as long as we have good normal rainfall. But the drought had a big impact on our ranch.
Water table's just low.
It's just water. That's why we've lost our windmill wells. They've just gotten too low to where they won't pick it up. But they'll come back as soon as we get some more rain. This culvert right here that's in the ground,
Yeah.
that's the spring right there. And it's down in there 25 feet or so, or 20 feet. With the gravel around the outside with perforations through it, and so it's filled through a little bit by the time it gets into the interior, and then around the interior, the pipe out to that right there.
Gotcha.
I thought this would be a beautiful little area for a pond in here. You could put a dam up at the narrow part down there.
Yeah.
And this would make a nice little wildlife pond, plus the cattle would drink out of it.
Yeah, and it's easy access.
And this spring would actually sustain it, as long as you seal the bottom.
Yeah.
But we've had years where we had really wet years, and we've got cattails and stuff growing in that
Well, that's a good sign.
little bowl, so it's wet. You just see the green?
Yeah.
There's a spring right up here.
Yeah,
It comes out of the side of the hill, it comes down. We'll come up in the road sometime. The shale, the stratus, and the way this is you got these pockets and stuff. When we get heavy rains, they have the little, cisterns basically in there. And they fill up, and then all of a sudden you've got a spring bubbling out. Right here's where it bubbles out and goes down the road. But it comes from back up in there.
Wow.
And it just flows in that layer of, which changes every time we have a earthquake.
Right, shifts a little this way or that way.
You'll either get an increased flow or you'll get a...
No flow. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's much more detail that goes to all this stuff, but it's just, we'll get all that. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
Get all this stuff. How to make it, I can't always remember of it, but remember about all of it.
At the dinner table, sitting around having a meeting, right? Trying to get it out of you like that. That doesn't really work.
I'm
So.
thinking about other stuff at that time. But no, this is great. We've got good nice stuff. Here's the little adobe right here. This has melted away pretty much, and it just really bothered me that it had melted away after all these years. So this west-facing wall was gone. The front of it to the door was gone already. The roof was already falling off of it. And when I had Roberto here, I taught him how to build adobe. And we went in there and we built this wall back up again, and we reframed and put a metal roof on it. And we even put a window in it.
Nice. What do you use that for now? Anything?
No, they don't use it for anything. They
Aesthetics.
Julie was going to use it as a playhouse for her grandkids, but that never did happen. And it's something that's been on the ranch ever since I was a kid, and I just hated to see it deteriorate and go away. It was part of an old homestead at one time. And I don't know, it's just part of the history of this ranch. I just didn't want to see it melt away.
Yeah, you could stop it from happening, why not?
Yeah, and you know, I've got a recipe for making adobe, and we've got a couple of areas here on the ranch that I've sourced the material, which I believe are probably the original areas that they sourced the material for the main house. The color and everything is right. If you look at the old adobes and you look at the stuff that we were making, it's very, very similar in composition as far as clay and adobe is a great building material. It really is. Just the only problem with adobe is heavy.
Yeah, one stories only.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy stuff, and you don't have the reinforcing that you've got a large footprint because it's so wide and everything else like that. But it really needs to be reinforced with steel rods and stuff like that, I think. But look how many hundreds of years these old adobe structures have lasted. Look at that barn over there. You know, it's pretty amazing that a barn has managed to stay after all these years.
So what happened with this hillside, you know? Like, why is it all, the trees are all sloughed off there? Is there a slide there or fire, or do you know?
Right there?
Yeah, right on that hill.
Yeah, there was a fire at one time. Right there.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think there's a layer of shale that runs right down through there too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have much soil. All this soil out here is actually, here's where that road comes out, right here.
Oh, that one sketchy hill you're talking
The one
about?
I was telling you about back there, it runs all the way across that ridge there,
yeah,
it comes all the way here, plus it dumps off into another canyon over there too that we were heading down, so.
Any view.
Even so then, I don't know, she's not much of a run up there and check it out.
The Batista Spring.
Yeah, it's Batista. It's called the Batista.
Never looked like that. What, low?
Yeah, that low, like that.
Just partial fill.
Even during the drought, it was pretty full. But what has happened is you can see down here along the. Okay, this is gonna drive you nuts. I know. Goodness gracious. I brought the transit down here and shot a couple of grades through here to see where we are. And we are much lower down there at the dam, where the pond, where the little pooling is right now.
Yeah.
We're much lower there than this standing water is here. This is where that spring comes out. It comes down through this canyon here, and this is where the spring lets out into here.
Yeah.
It seeps out of the bank,
Yeah.
basically. And when you, like if we were to walk down there right now, you could see flow. In the ripples of where they've mudded up,
Yeah.
you can actually see flow. And it flows all the way down here till it gets right to there. And that's where the tules started. So what I'm thinking of is over the last 5 or 6 years or so, those tules have been growing. And even though the cattle eat them down, and they're not a problem, that soil and root system and everything else has just progressively built up that area.
Yeah.
So now you have a little dam basically that's preventing this water from going on down into the larger pool. So.
And then it just seeps back in. And
Yeah, ideally, the thing that we would want to do is bring an excavator in here, a big piece of equipment in here, but they probably aren't going to want to do that. So we're going to have to bring the backhoe over and go on the other side and dig a trench all the way down and take out that root system of tules and make a little canal, a little channel into that, so that we can get this water to flowing into that bigger pond.
And the pond's got the hardened bottom, so it doesn't
It
seep
does.
water. Once it's there, it's there.
Yeah, once it's there, it's there. And the cattle, it's a perfect area of generally sloped hills and everything for the cattle to, even though we have water troughs down there and everything too. This is part of the original system before they developed everything. This is but you can see it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a. I shot the grades on it just because I was curious. I didn't think it was an optical illusion, but because it looked to me like that was much lower than this, but I've been deceived before. You know, so I thought, well, I'll put transit on it. That'll sure tell me one way or the other, and I was right. It's high right there in the middle. So that's a winter project. You know, when we don't have anything else to do, and it's been raining for a week or two, and it's too muddy to go anywhere else. And after it dries up for a couple of days, we'll bring the backhoe out here, and that'd be a good place to practice for you if you want to learn to run the backhoe.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to learn how to run all this stuff.
Yeah. I'll bring you out here and get you started and show you a couple of tricks, and then you'll be good. Just once you get the basics down, it's pretty easy. But yeah, look at all that water just sitting in there, and the pigs are the only thing that's enjoying it right now.
Just get some dynamite. Just put it in there.
Wouldn't that be great?
Solved.
There's a little bit of a seepage that comes out of the hill that goes into that larger area down there, but it's not enough to sustain it. Just keeps that little bit in there.
Keeps it wet.
Yeah, just keeps it wet, which is good. That way it dries up, it'll crack, and
Yeah, the animals will quit coming to it.
yeah. We actually put a little adobe cement type of a spillway. When it gets up too high there, you can see how it kind of goes off there, but that hasn't gotten high enough to. All our drainages will flow down to they're all flow to the river.
Yeah.
Basically. But now, because it goes through vineyards and everything else like that, we've had to
Divert.
Yeah, divert. So in a good wet year, if we get 20 inches of rain or something like that, we'll have water running consistent on the ranch well into August. You know, in all these areas, you'll see more places with water and potential water development. If you could count on it every year, you could develop those things, but you can't count on them every year. So
Yeah.
but you have to kind of count on the ones that you can rely on every year. But there's really good flow coming into this out of the spring.
Yeah, I can see the ripples from here.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's moving. To where though? Go back underground. That's not very helpful.
Yeah.